Get ready for an unfair advantage over your competition. This is the Sales Edge podcast, where globally recognized sales expert and trainer Joe Pici helps you sharpen your skills for booking more appointments and closing more deals. And now, here's your host, Joe Pici.
Well, hey team, this is Joe Pici of The Sales Edge. This is podcast number 63. Thank you for your support, your loyalty. You're spreading the word on our podcast. We are continuing to grow, and we have you to thank for that. You know, our Sales Edge is sponsored by Pici & Pici, which is a full-service, completely tactical, consultative sales training company that really helps for clients, all different clients, from small to large companies, from individuals, any industry, focusing also on speakers, coaches, and trainers to help them really generate consistent client flow, consistent ongoing business. We'd like you to be part of this show. We'd like you to email me at joe@PICIandPICI.com or just pick up the phone, 407-947-2590 for a complimentary cup of Joe. What we'd like from you is feedback, the good, the bad, the ugly. We're okay with disagreements. We're open to get better. And so today, also, if you could do me a favor, Global Gurus contacted me, and we would appreciate if you had any trouble getting in to vote. They had a glitch in there. Now, if you did vote and register and it came back that the vote was good, you're okay. But if you had problems getting in because there was high volume, please go on globalgurus.org and vote for Joe Pici in the sales division. We would appreciate that. We're humbled by your support. So today, we're going to talk about consistency. We're going to talk about consistency and how it delivers results. I think it is a pinnacle piece of business. I think it's extremely important that we develop a consistency. And some of the definitions of consistency: acting or doing in the same way over time, harmony, regularity, steady continuity, behaving or executing in the same manner, adhering to the same principles and actions, reliable, steady, the same action done over and over and over again, not changing actions, attitudes, or qualities, steady, dependable, persistent, and in the eyes of your clients and potential clients, trustworthy. So consistency will build all of these things, and you get it by doing something over and over and over again, repeating it over and over and over again. You know, I heard a nutrition specialist yesterday, and he said one of the most important ways of managing your weight is to eat at the same time every day. Okay, now, I don't do that, okay? It probably shows. But, you know, I'm consistent about 99% of things, but when it comes to eating, believe it or not, I eat when I can, which sometimes is not till the end of the day, which sometimes is late at night. But consistency in everything you do absolutely is one of the keys. Now, inconsistency is when we're erratic, irregular, changeable, variable, unpredictable, unsteady, and in the eyes of our clients or potential clients, we're untrustworthy. So when you are consistent, you earn a trust of reliability from your clients and potential clients. But when you are inconsistent, you will lose that potential trust because people see you as a variable. Somebody, maybe they can't count on you to deliver the same way, the same quality. We know that in consistency, your greatest habits are developed. You know, I know for me, my consistency develops habits. Consistency, though, takes great patience. And so for people who tend to be a little impatient, they're focused strictly on the result. They're going to be challenged with consistency. They may at times take the shortcut. I will tell you that one of the biggest adjustments I made in the way I do business is I focus more on the process and consistency, and I let the results take care of themselves. I've learned to be patient. Okay, and that's a learned skill. It's not, people say, well, you can't change. Well, folks, I'm here to tell you that I used to be extremely reactive. I used to be very impatient. I used to absolutely just focus only on the results. And when I started to mature in business and understand the importance of habits, characteristics like consistency, all of a sudden better results came. So if you look at consistency over time, okay, that's where you're going to get your greatest results. Work and time need to be invested. And so, I believe in one of my earlier podcasts, I said there's 3 things you do with time: spend it, waste it, and invest it. Consistency is investing time. I get up every morning before 3:30. That's a consistent thing I do. And yet that might sound to you a little bit crazy, but see, that consistency sets the rest of my day in consistency. I stay consistent because I start consistent. Without consistency, there's not going to be the long-term results you're looking for. You're going to get your short-term results. You're going to get your quick fixes, so to speak. But over time, you're going to see that your long-term results may not appear. And so the other thing I would recommend you do in your consistency is get a measurement on your consistency now. What should you measure? Well, maybe you may want to measure what time you get up. You may want to measure what time you eat. You may want to measure what you eat. You may want to measure all of your actions. You may want to your strategies, your attitudes. Do you have a consistently strong attitude? And so I'll give you a couple things that I measure. I've talked about this in the past. I don't believe you can talk about this enough. Now, our product is speaking, coaching, training, authoring, consulting. So that's our product. That's a given. But the things that I am most consistent with, that I measure, that I make sure I am most consistent in, I am very, very, very consistent, in generating leads every day. Very consistent in that. I am very, very consistent in our messaging. Our messaging isn't going to change from day to day. I am very, very consistent on target marketing. I am very, very consistent on how many outbound calls I'm going to make in a given day, a given week, a given month, a given year. I am very consistent about how many quote-unquote core stories you might call sales presentations. Okay? I'm very consistent at getting out and measuring proposals. I'm very consistent at follow-up. I am very consistent at returning every phone call. I'm very consistent at making sure that I stay following up and following up. Now, I told you in our last podcast, I think podcast number 62, that I had set a goal to do 40 core story sales presentations in a month of November, okay? And I said I'd be accountable to you, and this was going to be only through the efforts of consistency. So in our last podcast, I said that I had measured it. That was a week ago Friday. It was 28. Well, as of Friday night, okay? And I think that would be maybe November 22nd, something like that. I had hit 38. Now, that's not a bragging statement, I promise you. This is not about Joe. This is about the fact that the consistent effort is delivering the results that are measurable. Now, how many of those will go to contract? I don't know. Because, see, now it's up to the client. I only had control over the consistency of input. And my input continues to be all of those things I measured. And so I ask you, what are you measuring? What are the things you're most consistent about? Okay? A guy said to me the other day, Joe, I am consistent at being inconsistent. And I thought, well, there's a start. That's a beginning. But if you were to look right now and say, well, Joe, here are the things I'm most consistent about. You know, that's a beginning. And what are the things, and why are we inconsistent? Why do we get distracted? Why do we get pulled off our mission? Why don't we stay consistent? Now, I have a couple quotes for you, okay? Bruce Springsteen said, and people listen to him, and he's a singer, getting an audience is hard. Sustaining an audience is harder. It demands a consistency of thoughts, purpose, and actions over the long haul. Here's one. Dwayne Johnson, you know, The Rock. He was the bodybuilder. Then he went into wrestling, and now he's one of the highest paid actors. Success isn't always about greatness. It's about consistency. Consistent hard work leads to success. Greatness will follow. These are great people that have achieved something extraordinary, and they're saying that consistency is a key. Here's another one. Emmitt Smith. I always liked Emmitt Smith. They said Emmitt Smith was too slow, okay? Couldn't, and he's the all-time leader in yards. Consistency is one of the hallmarks of my career. You know, when you're going, you get out of, surely it's predictable. Listen to that. Every year you could count on number 22 to deliver consistent effort. Here's another one. In any team, sport, the best teams have consistency and chemistry. That was Roger Staubach. But here's my favorite. You may be too young for this, but they're one of the greatest basketball players of all time. I believe he has the most championships, even more than Michael Jordan. Okay, and I'm not saying he's better than Michael. I'm just saying he has more championships. Was Bill Russell. Success is a result of consistent practice, of winning skills and actions. There is nothing miraculous about the process. There is no luck involved. So he's talking about the importance of consistency. So are you getting the importance of being consistent? Okay? The whole thing about podcasting, I'm learning, is one of the keys is being consistent, making sure you're getting your podcast out as promised. Our podcast comes out every Tuesday, every Thursday. It really doesn't matter what's going on, you see? It's going to come out. This is the Tuesday podcast of Thanksgiving week. On Thursday, you will get a special Thanksgiving podcast. Well, some of you are going to say, well, I'm not listening to that. I'm going to be eating turkey, spending time with the family, and I want you to. I have no control. But we promised every Tuesday and Thursday. That's part of our consistent promise. Now, here are some things, okay? Here are some of the powers of consistency. Consistency allows measurement. And so until you measure something, you can't grow it. Until you measure something, you have no data. And I've seen companies run on data. And so it's so important to know that if you have consistency, you now have a measuring stick. I talk to people all the time and I ask them, what do you measure in your business? Sometimes they get this dull stare, and sometimes they say, well, we're not really good at that. Well, I can tell you, I know this. Anybody who lacks the ability to measure is because there's inconsistency. Number 2, consistency creates accountability. That's one of my favorite words. You see, accountability, again, with measuring and having consistency, you can tell, am I accountable? Did I make my calls today? Okay? Did I do my core stories this month? Did I generate my leads? You see, all of this consistency has the ability to be measured, and then, and only then, can you hold yourself and or your team accountable? I have to share a Joeism here. One of the things I've noticed in business today is how little people hold themselves or their teams accountable. Now, I'm not putting anybody down, but I'm telling you, it's one of the challenges. I asked the owner of a company about 3 weeks ago, but what if they don't? What do you mean? Well, these are what you're calling them to do. These are the things that you're involved in. And we helped you set up some non-negotiables, and you're measuring them. And now the accountability. What if they don't do? And what if we don't do? See, if we don't do what we should be accountable to, I can tell you it's going to hurt our business. Number 3, consistency establishes a reputation. Your reputation is how your potential clients view you. Are you trustworthy? Can they expect the same quality every time? Can they trust for you to deliver the product, the service, on time, on scope, on budget? You see, words can lie, actions never lie, behavior never lies. And so consistency is a behavior. Next. Consistency measures and maintains your message. One of the keystones of our business is we get hired by individuals and companies for us to come in and help them with their messaging, help them to create a clear message that pierces the veil and gets them in front of the person who makes a decision. That when people look at their message, it is so clear, there is no confusion, because when your confusion is high, decision-making is low. And so we work very hard, but we have a methodology, a consistent methodology, whereby we can get to the root and core of messaging. And number 5, and this is a big one, consistency creates mastery over your strategies, your messaging, your skills, and your processes. You see, to gain mastery is when you own it. It's when you can deliver on it. It's when you absolutely, it's in your sweet spot. Gaining mastery can only come with consistent effort and repetition. Well, we're short on time here. Take out your phone, type in 55678. The message is Sales Edge, one word. Send it. It'll take you to a link, which will take you to a splash page. There's some free downloads on LinkedIn, on sales. Also, there's links to the podcast. If this podcast has value to you, we would like you to share it, send it, like it, say something good about it. But here we're kicking off Black Friday. Black Friday is this coming Friday, and Black Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, we're going to be running some Black Friday sales. Number 1, we are going to take $1,000 off of either our sales or speaker boot camp for anybody who registers from Friday to Monday of this coming week. I'm also going to take $1,000 off our gold or silver on platinum coaching package. Now, call me or email me, 407-947-2590. I'll explain the details, but this is a $1,000 discount for Black Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday from Peachy and Peachy. This has been the Sales Edge podcast number 63. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for listening. New episodes will air each Tuesday and Thursday, so make sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and give us a 5-star review. The Sales Edge is sponsored by Peachy and Peachy Incorporated, a firm which provides training, consulting, and keynote presentations, empowering corporations and individuals to attract and retain quality clients for higher revenues and growth. Make more money in sales. Speak with Joe in person by calling 407-947-2590 or visit www.peachyandpeachy.com. Spelled PICIAND, PICI.com.